Ladies and gentlemen, the 39th President of the United States of America, Jimmy Carter. Jimmy! President Carter, I can't begin to tell you how much I appreciate you being here. It's very nice of you. Thank you.
Well, I just thank you for having me on your show, Regis.
And I think something that kind of got the attention of folks, former President Reagan allegedly received like $2 million to go speak in Japan. Is that all right for him to be taking a $2 million fee to go someplace and speak?
Well, you know, I'm not a judge. I hate to criticize another president, but if anybody knows of another opportunity for a $2 million fee,
When you were in office and, of course, traveling around, when you go to a foreign country, you're at the mercy of a translator. Do you travel with your own translator? Does the leaders of the other country provide you with one? How does that work?
The first time I made a foreign trip as president, it was to Poland. Mm-hmm. And then I went to other places. But when I got off the plane in Poland, I had an interpreter there. And I didn't write my speech out ahead of time. It was just a greeting. It was a very welcoming group, and mostly very heavily Catholic. And I got out and I told them that I understood that their heritage was one of commitment to and love of freedom. And the interpreter said that I knew about their commitment to free love. Well, it didn't go over well with the audience. And this is you can look it up in the records, it's a true story. And all over the world, you know, I was accused of saying that Polish Catholic people were committed to free love.
Wow. Nice to have you here. Jimmy Carter, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks again, sir.
John and Gordy in the morning. I'm John Peterson, and that's Gordy Young over there.
Good morning.
Hey.
How you doing?
I got a question for you.
Please, go ahead.
Yeah, I saw your new Facebook picture.
Oh, yeah, do you like it?
And I thought, what the hell is this? Is this like retro Gordy or something?
Why?
You have new glasses. You're not wearing your new glasses this morning.
No, I went back to the other glasses.
What happened?
Old glasses. I like to change. I like to.
You spent all the money on new glasses, and now you're not going to wear them?
All I did was buy identical frames that I could change the lens. I just go in and they can freely change the lenses from one pair of frames to the other pair of frames.
Oh.
So I have two pair of frames for these lenses.
Oh, no kidding.
So it didn't cost any more. So I it's like getting an oil change. Well,
so you can just change the lenses or change your frames anytime you want.
Yes, switch from one frame to another. Yeah.
Well,
so
I was kind of used to the other glass frames.
Well, you want me to switch back?
No,
is it bothersome to you?
Well, are you going to change from week to week? Because I'm not quite ready for that.
Okay, sorry.
I'm really insecure.
Startle you? It doesn't mean anything. Okay. All right. I'll change back to the other clear ones.
No, this is fine.
I think these. I like these better. They're just more comfortable for whatever reason.
Okay.
They're slightly different, but the lenses fit in either frame. They do that as a free service at Walmart. That's one nice thing about Walmart optical department.
All right.
They don't charge you.
Well, I
did and it was
not
the
know
same
that.
guy that did it the first time.
Really?
Yeah. He goes, "Oh, you're back." I'm like, "Yeah. You got anything to do?" And he goes, "No." I asked him, "Could you change my lens?"
Yeah.
So I gave him a little tip, actually.
Well, no kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Here's a 5-spot, have half a lunch.
You are the big tipper.
Well, it's the optical
they see that all the time there because, the elite do go to Walmart's optical department.
Oh, it's great. Yeah. A little bit of fog out there this morning. And I guess
I didn't see much.
I didn't see anything.
Yeah.
They
said,
it's
going to be foggy. You're not going to be able to drive into work.
Why did you say that there's fog then, if neither of you saw any?
Because all of the news channels this morning are talking about fog, mainly to the west of us,
okay.
a little bit to the north.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a dense fog advisory in some areas, and they expanded it for Dane County for no reason at all. There's no fog around here that I can see.
I think there's a time-consuming frost on the car windows warning out today.
You had to scrape?
Yes.
Wow.
It took me back to the old days of my Carmen Ghia, the VW warming system that it has.
Or lack thereof.
Lack thereof. You just don't, spend a whole hell of a lot of time scraping the outside. But then you end up scraping the inside of the window because there's no heat coming through yet.
Wow.
And that's why it took me a little longer to get here. I had to drive slowly and methodically, and I didn't have all the windows accessible to me because I'm always looking, to see if there's any squad cars tailing me.
We were worried about you.
Yeah.
You got here at the last minute.
Yeah.
Sam and I were concerned.
Well, you know how it is.
Not concerned enough to call you or anything, but
not to text me and see, well, are you going to come in or not? I was worried that my timer would not work. Suddenly, you turn it back on.
What do you mean
Sunday
your timer?
night?
Your alarm clock?
Yeah.
Oh.
On my phone.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then on my wrist as well.
Yeah.
And it did work. Everything worked just as it always did.
Thank God.
It had the feeling of Groundhog Day. I'm back again.
Yeah, we were off all last week. It was kind of nice.
Yeah, that was.
Sleep in a little
yeah.
bit. Yeah.
And now here we are with another live program.
And then it's almost New Year's Eve. Tomorrow's New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
We get another day off.
Yep.
This is great.
I know. Boy.
Should have taken this week off, too.
One day.
Why don't we just rerun all the programs from last week?
Yeah.
This week.
Yeah, and
see, people were
see if
traveling.
I didn't hear them last week, so maybe we could run them again this time.
Oh, they were good. What do you mean you didn't hear them?
Well, I didn't re-listen to them.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I was here
you
to record them.
Yeah.
Hey, I spent a little time, staying up late. I never get to do that. I never get to watch TV very much. I never get to catch up on all the new series that they have out there on the streaming channels.
Yeah.
And I finally caught one that was very, very strange and very odd. And it had like a 3-day time limit because it was going off Prime in 3 days.
Okay.
And now it's
what was it?
Going off Prime in 1 day. Today is the last day.
Oh.
And the name of the program is Swedish Dicks.
Excuse me?
Swedish Dicks.
What's it about, John?
Well, I know it's weird. There is a detective, and he's Swedish, and he calls his agency the Swedish Dick. And
well, it used to be a term for detectives, right?
Yeah. And then this other Swedish guy who plays a guy who was a DJ, Spun Records, and he joined up with the other guy, and he's Swedish too, so they call themselves the Swedish Dicks.
Is it a comedy?
It is. It's a really off the wall, bizarre comedy.
Okay.
Because the Swedish Dick himself, the original, he was a stuntman in a movie, and his partner in the movie died from a stunt that failed. And the funny part about this is that about 3 or 4 episodes in, we find out that this stuntman that died in the accident is Keanu Reeves.
Of course
seriously.
It is. Of course it is.
He's contemplating, this Swedish Dick is up on the roof. He's contemplating, losing his friend, and he just can't get over it. He wants to find out what happened. How did that happen? And then all of a sudden on the rooftop is Keanu Reeves. Man, look at this. Star power.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, so it turned out to be an exceptionally fun show.
We'll have to watch that. So today's the last day. It's on Prime for free?
Yeah, on Prime, yeah.
First 3 episodes.
Now, there's 10 episodes.
Oh.
And they're real short. They're like 25 minutes long.
Right.
But it reminded me of Sam's little brochures you made of our show.
The flyers?
Yeah, the flyers.
The flyers, yeah. You
town.
put all over the place and restroom doors. It reminded me of that because, this Swedish Dick guy, before he got his partner, he had put out flyers. He never read them. He never even looked at them or anything like that. And take care of your problems. Call the Swedish Dick. was on the flyer. Take care of all your problems. Call the Swedish Dick. And then, of course,
we gotta get language like that on our flyers.
you pull a telephone number off the bottom. It was honestly,
Sounds good.
It blew my mind. And not only that, but Ann choked on her pizza. And
oh no, did you have to do the Heimlich again on her?
I had to do that again.
Not
becoming a regular thing.
I hope she's okay. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
that's
anyway,
good.
yeah. And it's a funny show. It
Big
really is
thumbs
a
up
very
from you.
funny show.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, good enough.
It's like Eagleheart, with Chris. Chris Elliott did Eagleheart, the Comedy Channel.
Yeah.
And it was great stuff. Really bizarre, weird stuff.
I always loved his show, Get a Life.
Oh, yeah.
on
Love
Fox.
that. Yeah. I have every episode.
Do you
by the
really?
way. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Unedited, just the way they appeared.
Oh, my God. Oh.
They
check
put
that out.
they put out a DVD of his shows, but they replaced the music because they didn't have the rights to it.
Yeah,
Isn't that weird?
That is
So,
weird. That is weird.
But now they have it on, official Chris Elliott discs.
Good, that funny show.
It is. It is.
He plays an adult
Paperboy.
Paperboy, delivering papers.
I
on his
remember
bike.
when he was replaced by Paperboy 2000. This
episode,
gigantic truck that hurled newspapers at about 100 miles per hour.
Stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, 17 past the hour. Weather today, 31 degrees right now. The high. You got the roulette wheel handy? Let's roll it. See what the high is. We're way behind now. Schedule.
I can't believe we haven't lost that marble yet.
38 is going to be the high today. Mix of clouds and some sunshine. And I guess we'll have to wait on the National Day calendar.
I guess we're going to have to wait on Sherry out in Horicon.
Yeah, I guess so.
Must be lost in the marshes out there because she hasn't sent us an emoji yet.
Yeah. Her texts.
Maybe she's just
phone
crushed
lines are
from
open.
last week because I saw that she sent us messages when we weren't even here.
Really? Okay. Well, it's 18 past the hour. When we come back, National Day calendar, we'll open the history books for the first time in a few days. It's really dusty.
Yeah.
Look out.
Oh, no.
Get the hazmat suits on.
God.
If I could, I'm asking one small favor. I've gotta have some bacon in my beans. Bacon in my beans. Bacon in my beans. That's how a country boy survives. So baby, don't be mean. I'll cut back on the burgers and make vegetables routine. But I've gotta have some bacon in my beans.
All right. Yeah, you bet.
That's the way to get going.
92.7 WMDX Bacon.
21 minutes past the hour.
You wonder, bacon coming down in price. Anticipating Trump finally getting in there, lowering the price of bacon.
Oh, that's, of course, what he's going to do, right?
Yeah.
Great.
What a strange thing to pick, bacon.
Everybody likes bacon.
Bacon's always expensive. I don't know. It's
Right.
the dumbest thing to pick. I'm going to cut the price of bacon. No, you're not.
Probably not. Nope. This portion of the John and Gordy Morning Show brought to you by Verlo Mattress. Sleep better, dream bigger on a handcrafted Verlo mattress. You can find them on Madison's east side or west side or at verlo.com. Okay, ask about their lifetime guarantee on their mattresses. Okay. What?
What? Over the last week, I mean,
Yeah.
the future Trump administration is imploding.
There was some problems agreeing on things.
It's just unbelievable to see the disorder and the dysfunction and the lunacy and the outrageousness of everything they're talking about. And I just want to warn everybody that we're going to be mentioning the word retarded a number of times later on next hour.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
bumpy road,
the hardworking Americans out there were described as being retarded.
No kidding.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, it's outrageous and crazy and kind of funny in a way.
Okay. All right. We'll get to that.
All right.
First, we need to get to the National Day calendar for this
I can't
December
wait.
30. What?
I can't wait.
Okay.
But
Can't wait to get it over
big
with?
surprise. Yeah.
Okay.
Big
is
surprise.
it? Is it or is it not? National Bicarbonate of Soda Day. Is it Falling Needles Family Fest Day? Is it Bacon Day? Or is it National Peanuts in the Shell Day?
Peanuts in the Shell Day. It ain't.
You're right, but I just threw that in for former President Jimmy Carter.
Oh, yeah.
Died yesterday at the age of 100. We heard a little bit of him at the top of the show there. Yeah. Great president. Okay. We'll get to more on that coming up. So, National Bicarbonate of Soda Day. We need a day for this? Apparently we do, because here it is. Okay.
So baking soda.
Yeah. Sure.
Yes, I think.
That's
I know a little
soda.
bit.
Yes, it is baking soda.
just baking soda.
It's recognized as a staple of the home kitchen. We salute baking soda today.
Yeah.
Just a spoonful of sodium bicarbonate.
Now, I don't want anybody to get the idea that we've run out of ideas and we have no topics today because we're celebrating bicarbonate day. What the hell?
All right, we'll move on. We don't really need to spend a lot of time.
No, it's very important.
You want to
for
know the history
recipes? Recipes are, pivotal using bicarbonate.
It's a gentle abrasive, John. Baking soda makes an ideal cleaning product.
That's right.
For appliances, pots and pans.
Sure.
It's even recommended for chrome and the exterior of our automobials. I didn't know you could use it on chrome.
I would not do that.
What's going on? There's a fire truck going down State Street. We don't see that very often.
Hell.
Yeah. Last time we saw that there was a big explosion downtown.
Just wait, in about 3 minutes, we're going to hear another large boom.
No. I hope that makes it on the end of the year celebrations they have on the local TV stations. Our one time in the spotlight there this year. So, where was I?
Sodium bicarbonate. Let's
you can use
add
it
to
as
our recipes.
You can. Well, I think you're thinking of something. Well, I guess you can have it in recipes, but aren't you thinking of baking powder?
Baking? No.
There's a
baking
difference.
Soda.
Okay. Well, the ability to neutralize odors is one of its most powerful properties.
That's right.
Can you also use it as a mouthwash, a toothpaste, or a deodorant? Deodorant. Okay. Beyond personal hygiene, baking soda takes care of smells from pets and food, too.
I've never been able to figure out why baking powder and baking soda are different at all. I mean, one is powder, one is, kind of granules.
Well, here's the answer.
Oh.
What's the difference between baking soda and baking powder?
Yeah.
Both substances are sodium bicarbonate. However, baking powder includes and only needs liquid to activate it. Baking soda does not include this acid and requires both acid and liquid to activate it.
Oh, okay. All right.
Whew.
There you
Okay,
go. Well,
let's
that's
move on.
mystery solved.
Okay. Falling Needles Family Fest Day. I don't
Yeah,
even care.
Because
Do
the
you?
trees are all dried out and the needles are falling off.
Apparently.
And it's a festive day for everybody.
You have nailed it. Yes, it's a day to check under the tree and clean up those needles.
Maybe I should write these descriptions.
Maybe you should. It is Bacon Day today.
Yes.
National Day of Bacon today. So if you like bacon, today's the day to make some.
Oh, I can't wait.
Everything's better with bacon, as someone once said. It says here. And our research shows very little to dispute this assertion. Blah, blah, blah. It's made from pork bellies. Other countries around the world use the side and back cuts of pork to make bacon. The meat is cured in either a salt brine or a salt pack. It's either dried, boiled, or smoked. Okay. I'm tired. I'm tired.
The great thing was, my parents lived up north, and they had a cheese factory right next door to them, and a cheese factory would bring in smoked bacon from all of these different individuals' farms that surrounded the area, and they smoked their own bacon. Man, did they smoke it, and it was just absolutely delicious. I can't believe they don't smoke bacon like they do out in the rural areas.
Yeah.
Because that stuff is the real stuff. You go to the store, it's just mild smoke.
I know.
I interviewed for a job at a place that processed bacon once.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get the job, but after I left the interview, they had like a company store, and they gave me a coupon for a free pack of bacon.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, that's nice. What a happy story.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay, let's get to the history books if we have a moment or
We've
two.
got just a little bit of time. It's real dusty this time around.
Okay, we'll just skim through it. Oh, no.
Good gravy.
Man, that was a lot of dust.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. It really does it to you. Okay,
does.
let's speed run this. Today, in
Right.
1916, does the name Grigory Rasputin ring a bell?
Yes.
Yes, he was the guy who was getting in close with the Russian monarchy right before the Russian Revolution. A lot of Russian nobles hated him, so they killed him. But the story goes that he was so hard to kill that he just kept on living for like
Wow.
everything that they threw at him.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can talk more about this after the break, but today in 1980, Mickey Mouse was accused of draft dodging.
No.
1980?
Yeah. And we got a couple birthdays today, but it's Davy Jones' birthday, so
Oh,
we
yeah.
got a little monkeys coming out here.
Okay.
Pretty cool.
We'll be back with Idiocracy right around the corner.
Yep.
John and Gordy, see you in the morning.
Daydream believer.
of everything else.
Yeah, well, he was
Yeah,
getting
well,
in
yeah, he
close
was-
with the Russian queen.
Yeah.
And people didn't like that.
The love
Because
machine.
he wasn't a noble.
Where the
he
hell
was
did you
just a
find
common
a song like that?
What are you talking
It was a
about?
meme a few years ago.
Oh, it was?
It was a like trending song.
Wow. Okay.
Okay,
All right. Love machine.
Thanks for sharing. Did we get all the way through the history books? Or
No, we did not.
Well, we got a couple other things, and we've got a shorter version of Idiocracy coming up. So
We do.
We're killing a little time here.
No, we're not killing time. I've got a whole bunch of stories for
Oh,
Idiocracy,
okay.
so go ahead.
Yeah, we really haven't talked about Jimmy Carter yet. either,
No.
but we'll get to that.
All right. Well, today also more Russian history. Today in 1922,
Mm-hmm.
the USSR was established.
All right.
Okay.
Wild stuff.
coming
Crazy
back.
country. And I mentioned
Retro USSR.
It is. It is.
And I mentioned the Mickey Mouse today in 1980 was accused of draft dodging.
How is that possible?
I seem to have accidentally closed the tab that had all the information on it.
Oh, no.
But
Do you remember any?
well, Walt Disney Studio received a letter from like the director of the Selective Service. It was a joke letter saying that Mickey Mouse was going to be considered a draft dodger if he didn't register for the draft.
Oh my God.
And their response was, at 52 years old, he's not even eligible for the draft anymore. Not to mention that he's a cartoon character.
Yeah, that was second.
Yeah.
Right. All right.
Well, his animated feet, I think, were flat too. So
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, if you have fallen archers,
Yeah.
you weren't eligible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got a couple other birthdays. Some athletes. It's Tiger Woods' birthday.
Oh,
He was born in 1975. And it's also LeBron James's birthday,
okay.
LeBron is 40.
Yeah.
1984.
Still
yes.
playing. Okay.
And you mentioned that Jimmy Carter died yesterday.
Yeah, that's right. Remember, he was, unfortunately, he had that, the problem with the hostages being taken in Iran.
Right,
They
exactly.
kind of,
Yeah.
and they were held for 444 days.
Right.
And he finally had worked out a deal. And then during the inauguration of Reagan, they waited until Reagan was actually president.
Well, Reagan
before they-
negotiated something with
Yeah.
Iran.
Yeah, behind the scenes.
It always happens that way, doesn't it? I mean,
Yeah,
the same
the
thing
new
with
president.
Nixon and Vietnam.
Yes. All right. Anyway,
Yeah.
I thought he was a good president.
I did too.
One of the things he did was remember solar panels were a new thing, and he had them put on the White House.
Yes.
Yeah. And they stayed up there for a couple of years. And then when Reagan came in, Reagan had
Ripped
torn
them off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just take them down.
Yeah, he created the Department of Energy, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's right.
I don't know.
We'll have to look that up. Okay.
But it
Yeah.
seems strange, that a guy from the Sunshine State, Reagan, would take down the solar panels.
Right. Why would he do that?
Yeah.
Just to show
By the way,
Jimmy
just to
Carter
let
who was
everybody
boss.
know that Wisconsin has made the big news.
Really? How's that?
Out of the Miami Herald, of all places, their headline, 200 missing absentee ballots discovered in swing state, Wisconsin.
We had missing
That's right.
ballots.
Yes,
huh?
we did, and they wouldn't have made a difference in the election. So it's just kind of a quirky thing now to talk about.
Where were they found? How did they go
In
missing? What
Madison,
is
I
up-
believe. I haven't actually read the whole story, but I believe I saw the headline that they weren't actually missing. They were sort of like incorrectly filled out, so they couldn't have been counted, but I could be wrong about that.
Okay. We'll get to the bottom of that story.
Yeah, we will.
Well,
Get our team on it.
well, we can't wait to get to this old story.
Okay.
But the Miami Herald is on top of it, and I appreciate that.
Why would that show up on the Miami Herald and not the Wisconsin State Journal?
Oh,
or
it's
the
there.
Capital?
It's there.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Good.
The other big story, we may get to this tomorrow,
What?
if I look at it and it seems like it's good. But get this is the other headline in the Daily Beast. GOP acknowledges climate change to justify Greenland takeover.
So they're finally on board with climate change. huh?
now they have to be.
because we want to buy Greenland. Why? What?
Yeah.
I didn't know it was for sale.
It's
First
not.
of all.
It's not. And all
that,
this
the real estate
ballyhooing about,
flyers.
the
Yeah.
Greenland purchase.
Sure.
Just ridiculous stuff. Kind of fill up time, I guess,
Mm-hmm. We're getting
Somebody
some
wrote
texts
here,
in here,
Anna, welcome back. Did you know that the Monkees played the Dane County Coliseum July of 1969?
Oh, I didn't know that.
No, that's the year I graduated from high school. Big Monkees fan. I was too.
Yeah.
I love the show.
Yeah. Oh, they had some great songs.
I was a very confused person at the time because I know that Mike Nesmith wrote his own music,
Right?
and a lot of people are ripping the Monkees for not being talented or musical or anything like that, and that is so untrue. I
Right.
mean, Davy Jones, of course, was in a lot of musicals.
Yeah. A child star
Yeah,
in England.
and funny stuff. You can find it on the internet, but in a little performance that he made
Yeah.
as a little kid, it was cute.
And Peter Tork was
was
really talented.
Yeah,
too.
folky.
Yeah. He was. They were all doing well.
And Dolan's, taking over the lead singing stuff,
Right.
and drumming.
Yeah.
Come on,
Yeah.
a talented
They were very
group
good.
of people.
And they as songwriters, Boyce and Hart.
Yes, yes.
They did some of their songs.
Yep.
Yeah, it was good. They had a lot
Neil
of hits.
Diamond songs.
And kind of broke into the world of video. So,
Yeah,
you know,
I wish I had it now.
video music.
But there's a video clip of Paul McCartney and his band walking through
I saw
the
this.
backstage area of a concert where they're singing "Hey Hey We're the Monkees."
Yeah, I know.
they were singing the theme song
Right.
as they were going through these
I
tunnels.
saw that. Yeah, it was good.
It was pretty cool.
It was pretty funny. Yeah.
So they were
They're
well
just warming
respected.
up.
All the musicians at that time
Yes.
respected the Monkees at that point.
Yes. Let's hear it for the Monkees.
There you go.
Okay.
Anna,
Big
is
thumbs
that
up.
okay?
Anna liked them.
Yeah.
Yeah, she saw him at the Coliseum. Okay,
Is it time for Idiocracy, John? I know you're
Yes.
itching to get these stories out.
let's get to it.
Let's get to the.
As the 21st century began, human evolution was at a turning point. Intelligence continued to decline until humanity was incapable of solving even its most basic problems.
The inner machinations of my mind are an enigma.
No! You dense, irritating miniature beast of burden!
Idiocracy. For the smartest guy in the world, you're pretty dumb sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah, we got some stuff here.
Yeah, what are we going to start
Well,
with?
I think I want to start off with something that parents, they don't have to worry about this Christmas in particular, but next year, look out. Look out, the price of toys.
Why?
Because of under Trump, there might be a hike in those prices.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, I got this from the Yahoo Finance channel, and this is what could happen under Mad King Donald. Yep.
Senior editor at the Toy Insider and editor-in-chief at the Toy Book. James, it's good to see you. So Trump is returning to the White House, James. That means tariffs are front and center. He's a believer. And not just Trump. Those who surround Trump are believers. Besson, Lutnick. What could this potentially mean for the American toy industry, James?
This could mean some catastrophic results for the toy industry, especially the small to mid-sized companies. So some of what we've heard is a 50 to 60% tariff on products coming out of China. Now we're hearing maybe it could be a little bit lower, but anything is bad when you're talking about an industry that produces roughly 80-85% of its goods in China.
Most assembled in China. Has that shifted at all, James, over the last 5 or 10 years? Are more toys assembled, for example, in Vietnam, Indonesia, other countries, other regions?
That's true. There has been a shift, and I would go back to Hasbro as leading the charge in moving some production out of China, and that was under the late Brian Goldner's leadership there, where they started looking for alternatives. When it comes to the publicly traded companies, Funko is probably in the best position because they make so much in Vietnam right now. But for the rest of the majors, you've got Jakks Pacific, Hasbro, Mattel, Spin Master making so much of their product over there. They have diverted some of it to these other countries. Vietnam is picking up a lot. Malaysia, India wants in on the action. The biggest problem right now is capacity. They don't have the capacity to take on the level and the volume of production that's needed.
Are there certain kinds of toys, James, that would be potentially more impacted than others?
There are, and a lot of this comes down to, and it's sort of deja vu from the last time President Trump was in office. There's products that you just can't make in the U.S. So when we talk about things like nearshoring or reshoring, there are certain things like highly articulated action figures, dolls with rooted hair, things with sort of a complexity to them. They're really hard to produce here domestically because we don't have the factories to do it. There's EPA regulations that sent that stuff overseas decades ago. Even something like a steel truck, for example. I know a couple manufacturers that have tried to make products here in the States, like there used to be Tonka, Buddy L, Nylint back in the day. Yeah. Well, they can't do it here anymore because the factories aren't one size fits all. In order to make a truck that a single factory could pull off in China, you might have to find 5 or 6 suppliers here in the States to pull it off, and they just can't do it at an affordable cost.
Top toy, James. What makes the list? I did hear Barbie, maybe pretty high up there.
The Barbie Dream House, which could be a $200 item, is always at the top of the list every holiday season. So that's something you could sell fewer of for a high amount, and it shows up as being big dollars. But what's cool this year is Barbie Miniland, because consumers want more bang for their bucks. So we're talking miniature Barbie dream houses that are only $9.99, and then dolls that come in little lipstick containers that start at $3. People want value, but they want good.
Little.
Wow. Okay.
Little lipstick container Barbies. Wow. That's getting miniaturized.
I guess so.
Wow.
So toy prices are going up, huh?
Yep.
Get ready for it.
I thought it was a good explanation as to why some of the metallic toys, the very expensive, hard to make ones, weren't made in the U.S. And that's, a supplier problem.
I had a Tonka truck. It lasted
I was going to say
forever.
those were some of my favorite toys. They weren't new when I was a kid. They were my dad's from when he was a kid in the 70s, and I played with them still.
It lasted forever.
Well, we offshored a whole bunch of stuff.
Yep, we did.
And I think we were going to go back into the time tunnel and check that out, as a matter of fact.
Are we?
Yeah.
2 American scientists are lost in the swirling maze of past and future ages during the first experiments on America's greatest and most secret project, the Time Tunnel.
Dizzy.
Don't get lost.
Spinning around.
All right. Well, let's check out what happened way back in 2005. It's cut 147.
Okay.
Let's check that out. All right. I mean, this is why, things happened the way they did, offshoring our products.
Let's check it out.
Yeah.
The National Association of Manufacturers is sounding the alarm. The United States is running out of skilled workers. According to a survey of U.S. companies, 80% expect a shortage over the next 3 years. This comes as manufacturing has become more technical and the global market more competitive.
The unavailability in some cases of the technical skills threatens U.S. competitiveness and leadership in technology and innovation.
But that's only half the story.
A lot of times when employers are saying we can't find the skilled workforce they need, the unspoken part of that is not at the pay rates we're offering.
So there's not necessarily a shortage of high-skilled workers. The shortage is in high-skilled workers willing to work for low pay. Corporate America also says the public education system is failing students.
Indeed, 84% of respondents say that K-12 schools do not do a good job of preparing individuals for the workplace.
No argument there, but why then isn't the business community on the front line fighting proposed cuts in student loan aid and worker training programs? Consider that the current administration has pushed for federal cuts in programs that provide training to disadvantaged workers and match Americans with jobs. Currently, there's a proposal that would make it more expensive for college students to take out federal loans. And companies have been cutting back on training programs.
What's the first thing to go in a workplace when they're saving their budgets? They cut training. They throw out apprenticeship programs.
That's right.
And therefore, they are creating a self-fulfilling prophecy here by the lack of investment in their own workers.
All right. The thing here is this is 2005 under the Bush administration. Republicans were in charge of Congress, and this is what they had planned. This is what they did to this country.
We're back with more on John and Gordy.
WMDX.
John and Gordy in the morning, 6:52. And it's a little foggy in some places this morning. We'll have a high about 38 by later on today.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, this is a shocking story.
What's that?
You know, throughout the entire election, a lot of people voted for Trump simply because he was out there working for the working man.
That's what they thought.
They had a
yeah.
tremendous amount of respect for the hardworking individual out there, just, paycheck to paycheck, trying to make things work out for their lives and their families, paying for medical care that most countries don't require their citizens to pay, stuff like that. He had the respect of the blue-collar worker.
He did.
Well, maybe not. Maybe not anymore, because Elon Musk, the other, attached vice president, has endorsed a post on X suggesting Americans are too retarded to do skilled jobs.
That's what Elon Musk said.
That's what he endorsed.
He endorsed that post.
Now, should we get to Mark first before we get to the actual the post?
Sure, he's waiting on the line.
I wanted to get to Mark right away.
Okay.
Mark, what do you got for us?
Well, you're hitting the nail on the head. I can remember, that I'm just a little bit younger than you guys, but I can remember getting gifts as a kid made in the United States, like the Thing Maker and the vacuform and all this, and in shop class.
Great stuff.
Back in junior high school, we were learning to laminate plastics and to run a lathe, and some of the kids, I think, like the little bit older, were casting aluminum. This is in junior high shop class.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And when I was in high school, I can remember, there was kids, and some that were taking shop classes where they're rebuilding engines, and and that's where you want to have your investments. If you want kids to be learning this stuff, and then when people get out, you have to pay labor what they're producing. I mean, they just wanted to make more profits, so they shipped all these jobs overseas, and they say, well, we don't have the manufacturing capabilities in this country anymore. That's because the corporations shipped them out all overseas, and they don't want to pay workers for what they do. For God's sakes, the reason, it's across the whole spectrum industry. I mean, you have to pay people to do the work that we need to have done. I mean, like in the meat packing plants, that used to be a good, solid, family supporting job. But no, we want to have make profits off of that, but they don't want to pay people the money that people can survive. Cutting up chickens or cutting up the cattle in the at the big manufacturing plants. I mean, I get some of my stuff now from a local local place where they're processing the meat.
Yeah.
And you're paying a little bit more, but not that much more. And you can't tell me you can't still make somewhat of a profit, paying people a decent wage and putting people to work. And with Elon Musk now using the R word for people in this country, I mean, that you're not supposed to be using that word anymore. I mean, it's just, it's disgusting. Sorry, my voice is a little hoarse this morning, but it just is that this is what Donald Trump's America is.
Yep.
Now we'll just slap more tariffs on it. Well, that costs us more money. Well, then just start paying the people more in this country.
Or training.
Bring the
them,
manufacturing back.
All right, Mark.
Yes.
Thanks,
Training them.
thanks for that call. I do want to mention also that the Republicans in this state, with their right to work law that they passed,
right?
The unions, these weren't public unions, these were private unions out there. They didn't want this to happen. They didn't want right to work because they were trying to pay for all these apprenticeship programs. And with right to work, they couldn't pay for those programs anymore. So thank you, GOP, for that in Wisconsin. All right.
Okay.
Now here's the post that Elon basically endorsed. So basically, the right split with two factions: tech right and right. And the tech right is like, we need H-1B visa people to do the jobs. And the right was that, no, you need to hire Americans. And the tech right is like, what you guys are retarded. And the right is saying like, well, you don't train us. And the tech right is like, you can't out-train being retarded. And while all this was going on, we learned some people really don't like Indians. importing the Indians into this country. And this is what Musk wrote. That pretty much sums it up. There you go. So, the backlash on that is just going to be crazy as hell. But then we have Vivek Ramaswamy also received backlash after he suggested companies were not hiring Americans because they were raised in a culture of mediocrity. So now we've got a mediocre workforce out there. This is the administration that supports the blue collar, hardworking American out there.
Yeah.
Okay, and now we're finding out maybe not so much. Right?
Big split between these two.
They want to import individuals on H-1B visas. I've got some cuts coming up next hour. We're gonna go back in the time machine again and take a look at 2005. Lou Dobbs, when he was backing up the hardworking Americans out there.
Really?
Yeah, it is fantastic stuff.
We're gonna
Great
go back
reporting.
in the time tunnel again.
We are going to go in the time tunnel
God.
again.
I don't know if I can take
I
this.
know. I'm dizzy from the last time we went about 5 minutes
Is there light
ago.
at the end of this tunnel this time?
Well,
Oh,
maybe
my
so.
God.
Maybe
Okay.
so. We'll answer some questions. That's for sure.
Okay, we'll get to that coming up. It is 6:58. This portion of the John and Gordy Morning Show brought to you by Verlo Mattress. Sleep better, dream bigger on a handcrafted Verlo mattress. Find them on Madison's east side or west side, or just go online at verlo.com.
Give it a chance, baby, give it a try. As we were saying, everybody's talking. It's the John and Gordy Show. Come on, come on, come on. As we were saying, it's the John and Gordy Show. John and Gordy in the morning. As we were saying, let the sun shine. It's the John and Gordy Show. It's a beautiful morning.
We got a new act. It's phenomenal. It's sensational. It's terrific. It's even mediocre.
No, it's disgusting. It's a ploy.
What a ass.
You have a pretty fun show. I listen to it most of the time, you know. Keep up the good work.
God, I love you. Get the hell off the stage.
Nice work, everyone. Sharp broadcast. Really good.
Good morning, John and Gordy.
Good morning, John and Gordy.
Good morning, John and Gordy.
Good morning.
6 minutes past the hour.
What I think of Tommy Thompson doing the intro to a Trump rally and being asked to leave.
Get off the stage.
Get off the stage.
Yeah, that was a moment.
That was one of the great moments.
Mm-hmm. Hey, New Year's Eve is tomorrow, John.
Yeah.
You know, Civic Media is celebrating Lou Regani, host of Civic Media's fantastic Sunday morning show, Music of the Stars. He's going to do a special New Year's Eve version of his show tomorrow from 7 o'clock in the evening till 1 a.m. New Year's Day.
All right.
6 hours
Yeah.
he's going to be on the air.
Yep.
Live all across the Civic Media network.
They weren't going to ask us to be special guests or anything like that?
No, we got the night off.
Excellent.
What are we going to do?
I did not want to be a special guest.
Okay.
But it sounds like fun.
It does.
Yeah.
Yep. It's going to be a good show.
We got a couple texts here.
Yeah.
The word on the street, Kinnickinnick is the street he's talking about. Civic Media will be offshoring the John and Gordy show, probably Canada.
Hey, that's from Doug.
Why
over
not?
in Milwaukee.
Why not? And in a text here said, please stop using the R word. No, I know you're trying to get a point across in the story. Yeah, I was trying to get that point across. And the ugly side of the Trump administration, the incoming Trump administration, this is the ugly side. And I
Is
just
there
want
a side that's not ugly?
Well, they're using it.
Now
Yeah.
this is truly hideous for the people in the administration to talk like this, to support something like this, to use this language is just outrageous, and I just wanted to make that emphasis by reading the actual text.
Okay.
All right.
There you go.
All right, we've got a big story as well, but you've got something here, don't you?
Well, are we going back in the time tunnel?
Well, not yet. Not yet. Just hold on. I know it's fun. I know it's fun spinning around in circles. But I've got this story here, and it was an opinion piece that kind of spurred me on, a Yahoo opinion. And the title was, Dear Democrats, I survived the Biden administration. You'll survive Trump.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah. Well, it was so tough during the Biden administration. Jeez, all the risks.
Yeah.
The bad economy, the sinking economy.
All the
My
bluster.
goodness sakes! Oh
Yeah.
boy.
Yeah.
This is how the opinion started. Democrats have used Trump's extreme bluster as an excuse to engage in their own breathless fear-mongering. Democrats ran on largely maintaining the Biden administration's failed immigration policies and again lost the issue. By the way, no, the Democrats didn't want to support the Biden administration's failed policies on immigration because Biden didn't want to support those policies. He wanted actual immigration reform. The Democrats have been on this thing for the last 20 damn years. Get your heads in the right place, folks. Oh, my gosh. Okay.
Well, and they finally had a policy, and then Trump sixed it.
They did, and
The Republicans had gone along with it.
And it was a Trumpish policy, and Biden would have signed it, would have gone along with it.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, but that's the failed policy that Biden wanted to just keep going with. Well, it was Trump's policy, you idiot. All right. Anyway, but what we heard instead was, and that is the cut here, the Trump singing. It's a feature. See, it's a cut.
Wait, what?
What are you talking about?
Okay. Big surprise. Well, just look at the sheet. It's a song.
Okay.
It's called Feature, and it's Trump eating the dog song. It's just at the top of the cuts that I have features, and they're just musical things without numbers on them.
Sam, have you found?
Well, we'll need to do some digging.
Oh no, really? Oh God.
We know all about the eating dogs thing.
Well, Well, we're not going to play it anymore?
Don't you have that
Find
list
it. I
of
didn't know I
songs?
was planning on doing it.
Oh. I got
was on the
right
list.
at the top of the list there.
I'm a computer, John. I think in numbers.
Oh.
That's true. That's true. Okay. Well, anyway, Dems didn't want to maintain the current immigration policies, right? So Elon now, and I have to say it right, Elon.
Elon.
Yeah, Elon wants but see when I say it at home, my older son goes, "Who?" You know, if I say Elon, he
Right.
goes, "I don't know who you're talking about." It does this to me every time. So I have to correct it. Go, Elon. Okay, there you go. Elon wants immigrants. There's a dire shortage. This is him speaking here. Dire shortage of extremely talented and motivated engineers in America. There's a shortage calling for increased H-1B visas to bring in low-paying immigrant employees. That sparked a massive backlash from, the right wing, of course, who don't want any immigrants in this country. Duh. The H-1B visa program is used to cut costs, not supply talent, okay? It pays each one. By the way, these are lower income individuals. They come here, they're engineers from India. We were talking about that earlier. And they get paid below market wages. And let's go back now into the time tunnel. All right, can we get the time tunnel
Got that.
Two American scientists are lost in a swirling maze of past and future ages during the first experiments on America's greatest and most secret project, the Time Tunnel.
I'm getting dizzy. I got vertigo.
Man, it's slippery in here. Anyway, let's go back to 2005. This is Lou Dobbs when he was backing up all the blue-collar workers out there and had reports every night. It was just a fantastic broadcast. And this is one of those broadcasts on H-1B visas. Listen up.
H-1B workers in computer occupations were paid on average $13,000 less than Americans doing the same work last year. In a soon-to-be-released study by the Programmers Guild, 85% of H-1B workers are paid less than the median wage of an American worker. And not only that, those H-1B computer workers are at the bottom of the wage scale. Lobbyists argue that American businesses can't do without more H-1Bs.
We're being told that these are people that are highly skilled and that their skills are so important that the nation's economy depends upon it, yet they're being paid wages that are at the bottom of the barrel.
The conclusion is easily drawn. H-1Bs are cheap foreign labor, and Congress is ready to increase the number of H-1Bs issued by another 30,000. The current cap is 65,000 new visas a year. However, there are exemptions, such as there are no limits to the number of visas issued to universities and research institutions, and up to 20,000 are reserved for foreign workers with graduate degrees from American colleges going to work for U.S. companies. Critics say American companies save jobs for H-1B workers and deny American workers those positions.
I'm going to introduce legislation next week that says American workers should have the first crack at these jobs, and regardless of what GE does, and regardless of Walmart does, and regardless of what Lucent does, give them the first opportunity at these jobs and train them.
Now today, the Senate had the chance to say no to more H-1Bs, but they didn't. Senator Byrd of Virginia offered an amendment to strip out the proposed visa increase out of the budget reconciliation bill. Though his amendment failed by a vote of 14 to 85.
That is appalling, absolutely appalling. And we thought it would be interesting to you to see who those 14 senators were who had the guts to say enough on this issue, standing up for our middle class. Bill, tell us about these folks.
Well, what's interesting is a bipartisan list that tilts toward the Democrats, 3 Republicans, 10 Democrats, 1 independent, but only one state, Lou, where both senators voted to take the bill out, and that was Louisiana, where you had Landrieu and you had Vetter, Democrat and Republican, voting to take it out and debate the issue independent of the bill.
Appalling. And good for those 14. Perhaps their number will swell if courage becomes contagious and concern for working men and women in this country becomes at least, if not contagious, some people can awaken to the interest of the national interest there.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
When Lou was there for the blue collar worker.
It's a long time ago.
But guess who's still there?
Yeah.
President Biden.
Of course. He's always been a union guy.
Still working for the middle class. He was considering increasing the wages companies have to pay H-1B visa workers, which would disincentivize these companies from hiring workers in the first place. Just hire American. Is it crazy? You know? Is it too much to ask to hire American engineers in this country?
Apparently.
All right. Well,
Okay.
anyway, I got to say that, we had some funding problems for the UW because they wanted to expand the engineering department, right? They
Right, I
wanted to
remember
do
that,
that.
yes.
Yeah. But instead, of course, they held that up.
Yeah.
And they wanted to get DEI programs out. So they held up the engineering department, which is what we need desperately. And now they want to import from India the H-1B visa program and expand that. That's ridiculous. Right now, I wrote this down. The UW welcomed 1,351 students this year, but it will rise in a couple of years if they do expand the engineering department. It'll rise up to 5,500 engineering students in that department from 1,300.
Learning
That is
training
huge.
them here.
Yes.
Right here.
I mean, we desperately need them, as Elon stated, of course. And now, of course, instead of getting people imported in here and getting more immigrants, which they didn't want to do in the first place by having mass deportations, well, it's mind-boggling, which leads us to another trip into the time tunnel.
What? Again?
Yes.
2 American scientists are lost
I know,
in the
great.
swirling
Can we
maze
do
of
it?
past and future ages during the first experiments on America's greatest and most secret project, the Time Tunnel.
Can't be that secret anymore. Keep using it over and over again.
I know.
Well,
More than we used it all year.
Okay, we're here, in the past now, in 2005, but we are going to explain this story in just a few moments.
Okay.
Again, this is fantastic. This is explaining everything, because right now what they're doing is they're making social cuts to our programs in order to pay for tax cuts.
We'll get into
that
that
they want to make.
coming up. Brittany Merlot right around the corner on John and Gordy in the morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Brittany.
How are you?
Good. This stupid box on here. Is there a way to get this thing removed?
Just click on something besides that.
Oh, it says remove. right?
Well,
Can I remove it?
no.
Oh, shouldn't have clicked on it. Now you've done it. Now, stop clicking. Take the mouse away from.
Just click away from the box.
Well, I led you up to that box that you just took it away.
How you doing, Brittany?
Oh, man.
Oh,
Did,
good,
All
did you have a good Christmas?
I did. How about you guys?
Good. Yeah, it was fun,
Good.
It's
Took the whole week off. Yeah.
Sounds amazing.
not really. You still worked, didn't you, Brittany?
Yeah.
Last week. Yeah.
Yeah.
We saw pictures of you in front of the Christmas tree.
We did.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Very festive.
Thank you. That's what I was thinking too. I was like, we got to get pictures.
Yeah. That was
So
that
you're
was a
here
good one.
today, but not tomorrow. When will you be back?
I'll be back Thursday, Friday.
Thursday, Friday. Okay.
Yeah.
You going anywhere for New Year's Eve? You celebrating?
Yeah. Going up north, Duluth.
Duluth.
Up north.
Yeah, up north.
So what's up in Duluth?
Old friends, old coworkers, friends.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
20 seconds.
All right.
Do they have a Walmart up there?
Yeah, they do.
They have a Walmart.
All of Northwest Wisconsin has to go to that Walmart.
Yeah.
Is that right?
That's right.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm digging it.
You don't care for me, I don't care about that. You got a new boo, I'd like to laugh at. I am only one a burning desire. Let me stand next to your fire.
Or your Christmas tree, or Brittany Merlot.
Yeah.
Welcome to the program.
Good morning, Brittany.
You had a wonderful vacation,
Oh, yes,
I
we
would
did.
assume. Yeah,
Great
just a
time
few
off.
days off. That's fantastic. Yeah.
Really
Your weather never
enjoy it.
takes a break. That's the problem with your business. So
That's right.
Yeah.
That's the truth. That's the truth. It was
We
a
had
little
some
dicey,
fog
too.
around the area this morning, but really not around Madison too
No,
much.
we didn't see any fog, but boy, was it foggy in the last 5 or 6 days. Just ridiculous.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the worst part about the winter warm-ups is that you've got that melting snow, that fog that lingers, just the drearier kind of weather. And it's kind of like a wet cold. I don't know if you
Yeah.
guys have noticed that. It doesn't really
Yeah.
feel
Yeah.
like a good warm 40. It's this cool, chilly 40. But hey, still manageable, right? Even
Oh,
from,
yeah.
from the car
Sure.
to the house to the, So, yeah, pretty good day today. You've got that dense fog advisory, but if you're not really seeing any, then you're not going to see any as we go through this afternoon. But possibly again tonight and into tomorrow. It's our last little warmer day. So we'll be in the 40s today, probably the mid 30s tomorrow. But we do have a chance of a light wintry mix throughout the afternoon. So keep that in mind if you're driving around trying to get somewhere for New Year's Eve. But actually, on New Year's Eve, it's going to just be mostly cloudy and pretty dry out there. Temperatures, though, are sliding. We're talking about 20s by New Year's Eve and then teens as we go into Thursday, Friday, and into next week. So those are going to be our highs. We're getting hit with some cold Arctic air.
Yeah.
A cold start to 2025.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Wake you
it's
up.
not. That's not good.
You guys,
No,
you have any
it's
New Year's
typical. It's typical
resolutions?
for winter, I guess.
Yeah,
It is
yeah.
winter after all.
Yeah. No. Do you make a resolution at all for New Year's?
No, usually not.
I never do.
Never.
I mean,
What about you, Brittany? Do
we've
you?
kind of worked out all the kinks already, so
I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
I try with something small, like drink more
Yeah.
water this year or something like that.
There
It's
you
actually
go.
manageable.
I'm with that. I'm with you on
That's
that
good.
one.
All right. Well, we will talk with you, I guess, again on Thursday, right?
I get to. I love saying this. I'll talk to you guys next year.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
there you go.
Yeah.
Perfect.
You're going to
Perfect.
take a couple of days off. Well deserved.
By the way, you don't know it, but we are in the time tunnel right now. we're broadcasting from the year 2005, so we've
love
got a
it.
story from there. All right.
Way back there.
Okay,
All right,
thanks
Brittany.
a lot, Brittany.
Thanks. That's Brittany
All right.
Merlot, our civic media meteorologist.
Now, here's
Okay.
an audio clip from 2005. George W. and the GOP Congress. What did they do back then? Well, it's the same thing the Trump administration is trying to do right now.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, they're making social cuts. The programs that support hardworking Americans, so they can pay for the tax cuts later on. So let's go to cut 148.
The bill cuts $40 billion out of the budget. Republicans declare themselves good fiscal stewards. College students will have to pay higher interest rates. Low-income families' Medicaid co-payments will rise. There are tighter restrictions for the elderly seeking long-term care and less money devoted to child support enforcement. The savings gained will go to offset tax cuts on dividends and capital gains that favor the wealthy.
I don't know of any religion practicing in America today that preaches from the pulpit that what one should do is take from the least among us to give to those who have the most.
It's as though we were turning Charles Dickens' Christmas Carol upside down, rewarding Scrooge with even bigger tax cuts and taking Tiny Tim's crutch away.
What's more, critics charge the budget reconciliation bill will end up not saving money, but adding to the deficit when the $40 billion in budget cuts is erased by $70 billion in promised tax cuts.
In 2005, real wages fell again. To make up for falling wages, debt soared. Ignoring their plight, Congress rewrote the bankruptcy code so that erasing debt and a clean start are no longer a possibility. Rubbing salt into the wound, Congress pushed ahead with free trade treaties in 2005, which forces American workers to compete with workers earning 50 cents an hour with no benefits.
There is no organized special interest that represents the middle class.
No one can outproduce or outcompete the American worker.
Corporate greed can keep my taxes, give me health care, give my kids low interest student loans. What happens if somehow something happens and China's no longer a friend? How are we going to produce our hardware?
The House of Representatives passed a bill that cuts billions in Medicaid spending, reduces federal aid for child support collections, and slashes $13 billion in student aid.
This bill stood the principle of shared sacrifice on its head.
Frequently, what is lost in all of this discussion about what's next is what's happened over the last 30 years to workers' paychecks. Real wages have fallen.
You would have people making $400 or $500 a week.
The mayors are concerned because as wages fall, so does the tax base and the ability of a city to deliver on services.
That's huge. Hardly ever think about it, but it also affects your cities. I mean, that is a devastating report. What they did, and it's just incredible, right? Making it more expensive to get student loans.
Right.
I mean, seriously, what is this? And this was just to pay for tax cuts that they made back in the early Bush administration.
Yeah, like 2005.
Yeah. Well, they had a couple, and it was just ridiculous. And that's how we got to where we are. Now, I mean, before, when they started, offshoring all our jobs.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. And we're here today because of that. And now we're going back to that.
Well, the new administration's off to a fine start. Right? They haven't taken over yet.
No.
What have we got? 3 weeks till they take over?
Yeah.
They're already a lot of infighting. They
Collapsing.
split into two camps. There's a lot of ego.
And every
running
one of
around.
those people that said, well, let's just wait and see.
Yeah, wait and
well,
see.
How's that going for you?
Right. So
how's
far,
it looking?
Kind of bumpy.
Yeah, a little bit. Man,
wait and see even more.
I got something
3
here.
weeks.
This is just crazy stuff.
Well, we got just a minute or so.
Do we?
We're running a
We
little late.
don't have.
We don't have time, John.
How much time do we have?
Well, we
Like
spent a lot of
40
time in the
seconds.
time tunnel. That chews up time.
Well, I know.
A lot.
You do lose and you gain time in the time tunnel. So I'm just not used to it. It's
Right.
whiplash.
Well, we're getting back into the swing of things.
We are. We're trying to anyway.
It is 7:29. We're coming back with even more on John and Gordy in the morning.
has to go.
Place to be.
Here we are, 7:35. Clear skies this morning, highs in the upper 30s.
And get out that Civic Media app. You can text us very easily there or just give us a call as well. Just a few buttons, and you're in. You can tell us what you think.
Dick's on the line this
All
morning with a call.
All
Good
right.
morning, Dick.
Let's go with Dick here. What's going on?
Oh, I hope you guys had a great holiday.
Yes, we did.
You know, to what you're talking about, the old saying comes to mind with me: the more things change, the more they stay the same, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at that period, and then what happened a couple, 3 years later, at the end of W's term, the economy collapsed in 07, 08. And then the Democrat had to come in and clean it up.
Yep.
And then in 2017, the one thing that I guess Speaker Ryan could put his hat on is doing with Trump, that massive tax cut then. And then, you know, coupled with COVID, we went into kind of bad things economically.
Yeah, we added a record amount to the nation's debt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, big event. the Great Recession was just a gift. Yeah. Wow.
Kind of a vicious cycle, isn't it?
It is.
Started
Like
under Reagan, actually.
It really is outrageous. And when you listen to what they did way back in 2005 and how they made life more expensive for the average working individual, and they just let it happen. And then, you know, just offshoring all our jobs. It's just, it's incredible. By the way, those incredible audio cuts are from John's democurmudgeon.blogspot.com.
Okay.
I go back way back, and I've got a lot of stuff there. Yeah.
Things in the archive.
Yeah.
Dick, thank you for your call.
Appreciate it.
You can call us 608-879-8255 or use the Civic Media app.
You know, I'm curious because I was a young kid when the Great Recession happened. I was 7 years old in 2008, and I didn't really understand what was going on. But I knew that things were not going super well. Things were not as bad for my family as for a lot of people who, say, lost their house or something like that. But within 2 or 3 years after 2008, both of my parents had lost their jobs and had to find something else.
Wow.
And I wonder for other people my age how significant of an event the Great Recession was, if it's going to rub off on us in a particular way, maybe similar to the Great Depression and the people who grew up during that time.
It could. And I think we're headed for something like that. I hope not, anyway. I hope that doesn't happen. But you really, it's hard to know what the Republicans are going to do, what they're going to allow this administration to get away with. We'll see. We'll see.
Got a couple more texts here. One from Matt from Middleton. Elon, whichever you prefer, sees a 20% drop in deliveries
and layoffs.
20% of his workforce were all expendable. Way to go, MAGA.
Absolutely.
And the Chuckster from Racine piping up about Aaron Rodgers. Got to wonder if Aaron Rodgers regrets he didn't join RFK Jr. on his ticket and run as vice president, setting NFL records yesterday with the 500th career sack. Way to go, Aaron.
Yeah, what a way to go out.
Yeah, good indicator that Rodgers' best days of running on the football field are over.
That's right. New management there, and they're going to bounce him out.
You think so?
I mean, he's had it. Are you kidding? Have you?
Yeah.
He
had a terrible season.
This documentary on him is just...
Oh, I haven't seen
biography, whatever it is.
Yeah,
they take a look at his life and what he does in his off time and how he gets his head together. Just what an idiot! God. How we put up with him for so long. You know, I put up. Look, I'm okay with Brett Favre,
right?
Despite the legal problems he has and the nastiness of what he did, I'm still, you know, those were great times. But Aaron Rodgers.
Right?
I don't have good memories of Aaron Rodgers.
You were a big fan during his glory days.
I don't remember that, Gordy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Okay.
Sherry, thanks for the emoji. We're back live this time, Sherry.
Yes. Okay.
All right. I got this big story, okay? But first I want to get to this little article that was in the Cap Times supplement, if you caught that at the store where you can pick them up free. This was a quote from Robin Voss, our majority leader in the Assembly, Okay, this is an incredible quote, and I just want you to think about this because, I mean, really, truly, in the same sentence, he manages to say something so ridiculous and contradictory.
What did he say?
Listen to this. This is a response that he had to a question. What did Ronald Reagan say? Trust but verify. Now, we're talking about the university getting this funding for the engineering department.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Okay. He says, trust but verify. I gave them, the UW, till December. I think until the end of this year to say, did they keep their deal that we already cut? See, now they're talking about the next biennium. Will they fund the next biennium if they kept their deal, which means, and this is Robin Voss speaking, which means reduction in DEI, improve conservative thought on campus, free speech, a hiring freeze, and all the things that we talked about. Now, I just want to point out that conservative thought on campus is not something you can import. It is not something you seek out. It is not something you bring in. We never considered bringing in liberal thought. We never asked, well, let's bring in some liberal thinkers and put more of that on campus. They can't get, Robin Voss, you can't get away with talking about bringing in conservative thought into our university. Look, if it's there, it's there.
You can sure try, but it's not going to work.
But
you
it's
can bring
wrong.
in conservative speakers, but I can guarantee there's going to be a lot more people who are angry about those people being there than who are there to hear them speak.
You can't demand that you have a certain way of thinking, more of it on campus. You know, it's either there or it isn't, right? And I've always said that if conservatives on campus feel like they can't speak up in a class, that's their damn problem. Okay? Get a backbone. Speak up.
Yeah.
What's
Free
wrong with
speech.
you? Yeah.
They can speak
up.
up.
I don't know. There's so many liberals on here. I'm afraid to say anything in class. Well, that's your problem. Work your way through that, man. So anyway, I mean, he says improve conservative thought on campus, and then right after that says free speech.
Yeah.
What the hell? What is it, Robin? Again, you know, you see these little comments, and it's a reveal. It's a way to figure out that this guy doesn't have a real clue about what free speech is or what thought on campus is all about. It's there. It's what we encourage.
And right at the top of the list, he wants a reduction of DEI.
Right. Right. Again.
Oh, okay. What?
Diversity, equity, and inclusion. We want to see less of that.
Yeah, we want the opposite of
what
that.
What the hell? Doesn't make any sense at all. No sense at all.
So,
okay.
yeah.
And now I've got this rich guy. Okay, we're still in a holiday spirit here on the show, you can tell.
For sure.
And this is a millionaire friend, Dan Pena.
Is he a Scrooge guy?
Yeah, he is. Oh, man, is he? He has this, he released this video. It's a Christmas message from MAGA, okay? You can't hate these people enough. I'm telling you. Here's the $1 million man, Dan Pena, bragging about his 300 gifts under his Christmas tree. Let's listen.
And all you poor f***ers out there, you know, and we're going to show, that's pan down. Move a little, move.
Oh, look
That's
at
what
gift.
Christmas is supposed to look like, you poor f***ers. And if it doesn't look like it, it's about 300 presents here. If something ain't right, if your Christmas doesn't look like this.
Oh, yeah, wow, yeah, something's not right. Mine didn't look like that. I guess I have something wrong at my house.
Not a
I guess
millionaire.
he must be on Santa's nice list if he got 300 presents. Wow.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
a lot.
seriously, the dialogue beats out anything James Bond had to oppose in any of his movies, you know, the supervillains that he had to fight. The reality is Dan Pena is the billionaire friend of Trump's.
Oh.
Pena has helped thousands of entrepreneurs make trillions of dollars. but he also has an estimated net worth of only $500 million. So he's
that's all?
a billion-dollar man. He's the trillion-dollar man, but he's worth $500 million. The businessman is known as the trillion-dollar man, and he got his millionaire status as an oil investor in the 80s. Now, I did a little research on this because I wanted to know more about this jerk who told us we have to have gifts like he does. I looked him up, and I found that one of Dan Pena's Trillion Dollar Man seminars, he was speaking to the crowd, and he actually says this. This sounds like some super villain out of an Austin Powers movie. So let's listen to this. It's cut 143.
I said when Trump ran the first time, before he got beat by Biden, I'm not going to argue whether he really got beaten or not. I don't really give a shit. As far as I'm concerned, he lost second life. I said we were going to witness the greatest transformation of wealth the planet has ever seen. I said it a million times would be a Trump exaggeration. But I certainly said it hundreds of times, maybe thousands of times.
Oh, you're so
but nobody listened. When I say nobody, that's not exactly true. A few hundred people listened. I have probably 50 people or 80 people that if I tell them to shit on their 4-year-old's head, they'll shit on their 4-year-old's head. I mean, they do exactly what I tell them to do.
What is wrong with this guy?
He's the trillion-dollar man. He's helped people make millions and millions of dollars. And this is what wealth is. This is the autocracy. These are the billionaires. This is what we're expecting to take over this country and run it like a sweet machine.
Boy, can't wait.
Isn't that something?
Buckle up.
Isn't that
what a weird?
Everybody's
going to
make a lot of
to
money.
Choose as your odd thing to say to people and have them listen to you.
Yes,
you could have said anything else weird that people would listen to you about anyway, but he chose that.
Yeah, that's
sick. That's in front of a crowd of people. He's trying to,
he's impressing
him with that. Oh boy,
a Trump buddy, huh?
Yeah.
Sure.
Now, speaking of the economy and what's to come here, the billionaires being in charge of everything, this is Liz Panicotti. She's from the Roosevelt Institute, and she serves up a little warning for each and every one of us. Okay. Let's listen to this.
Liz, you would, I think, even be more definitive. You think that some of these policies, in your view, while promising to deliver a great economic boom, will blow a hole in a strong but fragile economy. Is that your view?
I think that's right. I think we have like a stack of mismatched plates that are okay for now, and you are looking at dropping the entire stack of plates and shattering all over the floor.
Yep.
We're talking about Trump has proposed $10 trillion in tax changes on the campaign trail between making the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act permanent and, no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime. I'm not sure we're taxing anything at this point based on what he's proposed. $10 trillion is not something you can recover from, both from a debt and deficit standpoint and from an inflationary perspective. That is, 3 times what the Biden administration spent on the American Rescue Plan and the Inflation Reduction Act. That is, 4 to 5 CARES Act programs in a non-crisis scenario. And I think the inflationary pressures, even if they're pro-growth, which I don't think they will be based on what's being proposed, I think we're looking at both the economic crisis and a huge hole in a strong but fragile economy.
Yeah, that's it. And I just want to mention here that the CARES Act, talk about the CARES Act. It permitted loans by the Treasury Department to businesses losing money during COVID, loans that were forgiven. And remember, Robin Voss had a $299,549 loan forgiven.
Really?
Liz warns that the next one could be 4 or 5 times the size of the CARES Act that Biden passed out.
Gotta leave it there. Coming back with leftovers and tidbits.
terrific if you like eating leftovers.
Leftovers.
Leftovers?
I kept the leftovers.
They're leftovers.
Just some leftovers. Leftovers for a week and a half. He ate those leftovers.
Funeral leftovers. Leftovers. Enjoy.
This portion of the John and Gordy Morning Show brought to you by Verlo Mattress, where you can sleep better, dream bigger on a handcrafted Verlo mattress. Find them on Madison's east side or west side, or just go online at verlo.com.
It's John and Gordy in the morning, and we want to say to Thomas out there, it is Dan Pena. Wanted to know who that was I was quoting earlier, and we played the odd cut of a billionaire to all of us. His happy Christmas message to everyone.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we mentioned earlier in the show, Jimmy Carter passing away yesterday at the age of 100. This was him a few years back on David Letterman. Let's hear it.
In Springfield.
Oh, hang on.
Hang on.
Oh,
I found
What?
your dog's clip from earlier, and that was what was pulled up.
Oh, okay.
Here's Jimmy Carter.
Right. There we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 39th President of the United States of America, Jimmy Carter. Jimmy!
President Carter, I can't begin to tell you how much I appreciate you being here. It's very nice of you. Thank you.
Well, I just thank you for having me on your show, Regis.
And I think something that kind of got the attention of folks, former President Reagan allegedly received like $2 million to go speak in Japan. Is that all right for him to be taking a $2 million fee to go someplace and speak?
Well, you know, I'm not a judge. I hate to criticize another president, but if anybody knows of another opportunity for a $2 million fee,
When you were in office and, of course, traveling around, when you go to a foreign country, you're at the mercy of a translator. Do you travel with your own translator? Does the leaders of the other country provide you with one? How does that work?
the first time I made a foreign trip as president, it was to Poland. And then I went to other places. But when I got off the plane in Poland, I had an interpreter there. And I didn't write my speech out ahead of time. It was just a greeting. It was a very welcoming group, and mostly very heavily Catholic. And I got out and I told them that I understood that their heritage was one of commitment to and love of freedom. And the interpreter said that I knew about their commitment to free love. Well, it didn't go over well with the audience. And this is, you can look it up in the records, it's a true story. And all over the world, you know, I was accused of saying that Polish Catholic people were committed to free love.
Nice to have you here.
Jimmy Carter.
Very funny guy. Great sense of humor.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he was quite the president, really.
Yeah.
Only one termer, but yeah. You know, did a lot for human rights. And then after his presidency, my God, just building all those houses for habitat of humanity.
I know. There isn't a president that could ever do what Jimmy Carter did after he was president.
Yeah. Started the Carter Center. And traveled all over the world, something like 150 countries.
Yeah.
And, you know, helping to support democracy and being a witness to democracy and
Hammer
voting.
and nail, man. He was out there building homes.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, gonna miss him.
Yeah. By the way, we want to send our well wishes out to Rocker. I understand he is a little bit under the weather.
Little health event.
So
but he's fine.
Hope he's doing okay.
He rocked a little too hard at his gig last Thursday.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that what happened? Okay. Well, get well soon, Rocker. All right.
All right.
Okay.
Hey, I just want to follow up on a thing about the engineering department at the UW.
Well, I think, Sam, did you take any engineering classes? Because
Yeah.
you had an engineering problem over the weekend.
You just want to talk about this, don't you?
During our break.
That's what I'm thinking.
Because you've been working on this VW bug as long as we've known you.
That's right. So I had some time this past week. I was home and I was patching all of the rust holes in this car, this 50-plus-year-old car.
With Bondo, right?
Not with Bondo.
Okay.
No.
Something better than Bondo.
I have a welder and I can use it very poorly.
Okay.
So I was welding up a hole in the floor, and the weird thing about a Volkswagen, you got the battery under the back seat on the floor.
Yes.
Of course.
So I was welding right next to this battery, and I melted a hole in it.
Oh, no.
And I didn't notice until I looked in the car, and there was this puddle of liquid in the back seat, and I didn't know what had happened. I had battery acid all over my floor.
Now you need a new battery.
Yeah, I had to go and buy a new battery. But
Man.
When are you going to get this thing done and drive it back down here?
I put one coat of paint on it right before I left.
Okay.
Yesterday, and this coming weekend I'm gonna go back, put another coat of paint on, put the engine in, and then the John and Gordy mobile will return.
Do you think maybe you're in over your head on this thing? Just a little bit.
There is nothing that I can't do, John.
Now, what color is this going to be? I mean, are you painting the whole car, or
no, just the new bits of metal that I'm putting on.
Okay, I don't want you to paint the car. I mean, it's a wonderful multicolor.
Yeah, it's
extravaganza
orange,
the way
it's
it
green,
looks now.
It's red, it's black. There's so many different colors to it.
Yeah.
Well, so much history in each color, right?
Well, you brought it to the.
Well, it's been hit a few times.
A fender
That's
here.
why.
I mean, it's really a cool. I mean,
there.
You brought it to the Wisconsin Broadcasters
I did,
Association.
yeah.
Everybody wanted to take a ride in
Todd
it.
Michaels took a ride in it.
Yes.
And he loved it. I got to bring it back. He's got to ride in it again when we go back to the WBA.
Very cool. Yeah. Got to bring it everywhere.
See, I remember that they don't have the most comfortable seats in the world.
Not a luxury vehicle.
Well, no. I mean, just even a functional seat would help.
But when I had it in high school, like the first time I ever drove it to school, it was like right towards the end of high school. I rode in sitting on a milk crate because I didn't have the seats in it yet.
See, that's
wow. Okay.
That's probably more comfortable than the actual seats that came with the car.
I imagine. Yeah. All right. Well, keep us posted on that.
We have to know more.
Okay. Stephanie Miller is coming up next. What?
I'm giving you the time. We got
Okay.
30
I thought you
seconds
said
left.
something. Okay. We'll be back bright and early tomorrow morning.
We sure will.
All right. For our New Year's Eve broadcast. Have a great day.
It's the John and Gordy Show.
John and Gordy in the morning.
As we were saying,
let the sun shine.
It's the John and Gordy Show.